and voting system. They don't like get promoted like normally through merit. They get promoted by voting. They get their position by people voting for them, voting for them, voting for them. All right, marginal seat is a job, a small job within Congress, and in Congress, it's in the lawmaking section of Congress, and it's generally when we want one leader. Okay, so it's a small position in the government, and it's usually only going to have one leader. Or, yeah, generally, it's usually only going to have one leader. A small position in Congress, and it's usually only going to have one leader. Alright. Marginal seats in Congress, this means that fewer seats are won than 55% or less of the vote. 55% or less of the vote. Fewer seats are won by 55% or less of the vote. Fewer seats are won by 55% or less of the vote. Fewer seats are won by 55% or less of the vote. I have no idea what that means. Next question. Alright. The ability of the media to define the importance of particular events and issues is called... 54. 54. B. 54. 54. B. Where is that? Agenda setting. So... Agenda setting describes the ability of the news media to influence the importance placed on the topics of the public agenda. Public agenda. Remember, how people think the government should be ran, how people think the government should be ran, how people think the government should be ran. Or what people think the issues are. Reality, the media's agenda, public perception of reality. So what physically, like what's actually happening in Congress, what's physically like real life happening, what media is saying what's happening, what they say real life is, and what people generally think real life is. So like a rock is falling on the ground, a rock is falling on the ground, a rock is falling, a media could show a person throwing a rock on the ground, throwing a rock on the ground, throwing a rock on the ground, and the public perception is like a celebrity jumping and throwing a rock on the ground. A celebrity jumping and throwing a rock on the ground. A celebrity jumping and throwing a rock on the ground. This is basically like, this is like the main thing, like a rock is falling on the ground, but the media can like completely portray one thing, and the public can have its own perception, but if the media says somebody's throwing a rock on the ground, then they can make the public think that somebody's throwing a rock. Even though it could be like dropped by itself, if the media says like, the public's somebody's throwing a rock, then that's what they're going to think. Alright. Then the public is going to be like, alright, somebody's throwing a rock on the ground. Somebody's throwing a rock on the ground. Agenda setting. What the media... Hold up. Crap. I just threw the analogy without the actual thing. So people were like, that analogy was just an easy analogy to say. So like, people are like, alright, reality, pollution is like really bad and stuff, and it's like, messing up the ozone later. And the media was like, pollution's like medium, and then the public's going to think pollution is medium, pollution is medium, pollution is medium. But the reality is like pollution is like very bad and all that. So media be like, the media can like influence the public's perception of it, or like voting or some other issue or something like that. That's what this is. The ability of the media to define the importance of particular events and issues is called. This is just a sophisticated way of saying that. The power to judicial review was established in 55. Alright. 55 is E. Marbury versus Madison, Marbury versus Madison, Marbury versus Madison. Alright, Marbury versus Madison, 5 U.S. 137 was a landmark U.S. Supreme Court case that established the principle of judicial review in the United States, meaning that American courts have the power to strike down laws, statutes, and some government actions that they find to violate the Constitution of the United States. Alright, I don't have enough time.